obviously knowing that the ball's in your hands and preparing all week like that. It has been a while since I've had that feeling, obviously. So almost 2 years to the week. So and it's different. That's a different deal, and that's part of it. Like I said, I've said this a bunch, but certainly why I've chased this coming back. That feeling certainly of being on the line, of towing the line, putting yourself out there. Obviously, with this game and how important every week is, it's an amazing feeling, and love the challenge.
All right, D. Hall, you are the radio analyst for the Washington football team. You'll be on the call. What are you expecting from Alex in this game?
You know what? I'm hoping Alex is a lot more comfortable. Like Alex spoke about, it's different when you go in that week of preparing as the starter versus, unfortunately, having Kyle Allen get hurt, and then you have to go in there and kind of fill in. That was Kyle Allen's game playing a little bit, and you saw, you can still see a little bit of the rust from Alex Smith. He's still really not seeing some of the plays, but then you see good plays like that, and so this guy's a veteran football player. He's seen a lot of defenses. He understands what's going on. It just needs to slow down just a little bit for him. But I'm excited to see Alex out there. As a guy who's come from injuries nowhere near the level of Alex Smith, you always are fighting and thriving to get another chance and prove everybody wrong. And so he's a pro. This guy's a former #1 overall pick, so he's a super talented, highly motivated guy. So I can't wait to see him get out there on that football field. But this Washington football team has to protect him. They have to try to run the football. You're playing Detroit, who doesn't stop the run very well at all. So you have to capitalize on taking advantage of that. You can't just allow Alex to drop back and throw the football. We saw that. This offensive line isn't good enough, and he isn't mobile enough to just get out of pressure.
Listen, 10 yards per completion last week. Only 8 incompletions. Now, the problem was 3 of them were actually completions to the Giants players, which you don't want. But there were some things to build on as he prepares in the starter role. And you're right, D'Angelo. I mean, the hope is that he's going to be a lot more comfortable knowing he's going into the game as the starter and not being inserted in the middle of the game. And go back to his first action earlier this year when he came against the Rams. He had defensive linemen hanging on his back, and we're all watching like this at home. That was a confidence booster for him that, hey, I'm okay. My leg is okay. I survived. I can get back out on the NFL field, play, and stay healthy. All right, thanks, D. Hall. Looking forward to that one tomorrow. All right, believe it or not, Washington just a game and a half out of first in the NFC East. Philly on top at 3-4-1. Washington in second, while Dallas and New York are in the basement of the NFC East, which is really, 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 really far below ground. Tomorrow, the Eagles visit the Giants at MetLife. Kim Jones has more from East Rutherford.
First time around between the Eagles and Giants was a squeaker, a 1-point Philly win. Well, this time around, the Eagles are going to have a different team on the field, chiefly because their O-line's getting healthier and Miles Sanders is back. Joe Judge expects a different game.
So for us, this game's completely independent of the last one. The only thing that's really relevant from the last game are the lessons we learned as a team and help us improve as a team. So obviously it's a division game. It should be very competitive. There should be some nasty to it, being as though it's a division opponent. It's Philadelphia. It's our home field, all that good stuff mixed in there. But at the end of the day, look, we had our shot in the first game. This game's completely independent of that one right there. We have to do a good job for 60 minutes this Sunday.
Back on October 22nd, the Giants had a lead. The Eagles came back and won it at the end. This time around, closing out this game, getting a win against the Eagles would represent great progress for Joe Judge and his team.
It sure would, Kim. Thank you for that. So, Mike, Rob, the Eagles, they've won 2 straight. They're coming off the bye. What's going to be the deciding factor in this game?
Deciding factor, probably which quarterback turns the ball over the least. I mean, both of these guys are turnover machines. Wentz has 16 turnovers or giveaways this season, and Daniel Jones has 13. I mean, can they give the ball away even more? And it seems like both of these guys have similar issues. They get in trouble on the extended plays, meaning they don't just hit their back step and let the ball go. They're trying to make a play, and I get it. They're looking downfield. They're waiting on a receiver to become open or uncovered or things like that. But you have to have some type of sense of protecting the football. So to me, the key to this game is going to be whichever quarterback holds on to the football, or for lack of better words, doesn't give the football away to the opposing team, that team will win.
That's what we've seen from these two quarterbacks. Now, for the Eagles, they're going to get some help back. They're getting a lot of guys healthy, Lane Johnson, Miles Sanders. But we all have seen what has happened to Carson Wentz over these last few years. He's 17-17-1 since tearing his ACL in 2017. He leads the NFL in interceptions, in turnovers, in sacks. This is a guy who needs to get it together, and we're talking about the turnovers, but there were so many moments when the Eagles played the Giants in that game, Week 8, where I felt like the Eagles were playing like they were behind in that game, but they were actually winning. So he's holding on to the ball way too long. He knows he needs to change that, so we'll see if it actually happens in this game. Both quarterbacks under the protection spotlight, which is coming up next, by the way. I know, right? I wish we were in studio. There's so much to get into with these games. But listen, we're not, and we're making the best of it, because we're going to talk about this one coming up next. We saw the same.